I hope you guys have enjoyed the last month where I've been wandering around Belgium and Paris taking photos and uploading them to YouTube. You guys have been incredibly supportive on all of my videos recently, so thank you so much. If you haven't seen them, they're all on the channel already, so I recommend you giving them a look at. What I am going to be talking about today, though, now I'm back home in London, is camera safety and security. Whenever I travel and just in general now, I always get asked how I go about keeping my camera safe and secure and how to keep it out of a thief's line of sight and stop making it such an easy target. In the world we live in now, it's pretty terrible that technology and stuff like that gets stolen and flipped very quickly now. So much so that phone thefts happen in London every 6 minutes. I think it's absolutely crazy. And none of us are going to be able to have a golden rule that completely stops anything from being stolen off of you, because that's just not the case. If a thief wants to get hold of your equipment, they're going to do it. But for the most part, thieves want to get things without you even noticing it. That's why pickpockets are such a big thing at the minute, or it's a snatch and grab and you don't have much time to react. The element of surprise is a massive thing with all thieves, and that's what they get away with so much stuff for. So there are some preventative measures that you can take to stop your cameras being such an easy target when you're traveling or taking photography out on the street. And I'm going to go through a few of the things that I do. Like I say, none of it's a golden ticket. None of it's going to absolutely guarantee that nothing will ever happen to your equipment, because no one can guarantee it. But the things that I've taken in place gives me a better peace of mind, and it makes things a lot less easy to just snatch and grab or run without me noticing. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. How to keep your camera equipment safe, and just in general safety tips and a bit of awareness that you guys should be really keeping in mind when you're taking quite expensive cameras out into the world to take some photos. The first thing I want to talk about is something you guys should really be doing anyway, and that is insuring your equipment. Whether you go on travel, photography trips and stuff like that I do, or just general holidays, insuring your stuff in general is absolutely vital. As I say, if a thief wants to get hold of your stuff, they're gonna do it. If they want it that badly, they will find a way. And nothing's worth getting hurt over if it's just a materialistic thing. So insuring your stuff is absolutely vital when you're going anywhere. My camera and all of my recording equipment is insured not only through business, travel, and house. It's all covered. So if someone robs this place, all of my equipment is on the housing register, so I'll be able to get that back. If I travel anywhere, all of that's insured. And if I'm just out on the street, it's insured in multiple ways. So insuring is probably the most important thing you can do, really, because at least you can get the money or your items back in that regard. The only thing you can't get is the memories back and the SD cards that you've got in your cameras. All of those pictures you've taken will be lost, and that's why I highly recommend backing up your stuff as often as possible. For whenever I'm out and about on a day of street photography, I will always back up my SD cards, and that will be through the Leica Photos app or something like that, or just taking them out on my camera and backing them up to an external storage device each day. Not only does that prevent against the SD card failing or a formatting issue, but it will prevent, if anything gets lost, I still have the photos that I've taken. Now, anything that I take in the previous days will be saved, but I might lose a little bit during the day that it got stolen, for example, but that's not as bad as losing absolutely everything and being stuck with nothing. So insuring and backing up your SD cards is absolutely vital. Now, a lot of people that I know and a lot of things that I've seen online recommend people taping up their logos on their cameras to make them less recognizable at a glance. And as you guys may have seen, I do not tape up the logo on my camera, and I'm going to tell you why. Admittedly, I understand why people do it. At a glance, especially the Leica logo is very recognizable. A bright red dot on a very dark framed camera can stand out, and when thieves are up and down looking at anything that they can grab at a glance, that Leica logo stands out. And as soon as they see a Leica logo, they know those cameras sell for a lot of money, so you might become a target by having that logo on show. But why I don't tape it up is because thieves are getting smarter and smarter, and they know that when they see a taped up camera, They know that you're trying to hide something. I would rather be upfront and open with what I've got than them seeing up a taped up camera thinking that's worth more and they want me to not know that it's worth a lot of money, and then you're a target that way. I'm in two minds about this. I get it from one degree that you want to hide what it's got, you want to make it more stealthy, but if you are going to do it, I recommend doing it in a good way. I don't just think getting a bit of black tape and slapping it all over the camera is a good look. If you're going to do it subtly. Buy a sticker that fits the red dot, for example, perfectly, so it doesn't look taped up, it just looks blacked out. Having like ripped bits of masking tape that's coloured in black and stuff like that people do is very noticeable, even at a glance. So you're not doing much to hide the logo, you're just pointing out that you're going through that effort to try and hide the logo, so it clearly must be worth something. That's my view on it. I get why people do it, as I say. I just personally don't for that reason. If you are going to do it, please cut your stickers to size and go through the effort of making it look neat and tidy so it doesn't stand out. If it's just a black circle over the logo and nothing's protruding and nothing's hanging off or falling off, it will look a lot better than just a bit of tape slapped over the top of a logo. So do it properly if you're going to do it at all, but that's my view on it. Another thing that I was in two minds at first, but then found a way around my main concern, is what was in this black pouch. It's an Apple AirTag. And the reason I was in two minds for these Apple AirTags were for a big safety feature that they put in place a few years ago. So these Apple AirTags, if they are with someone that doesn't own it, and the owner of the AirTag is not around, after a certain amount of time, it will notify the person this is following that there is an Apple AirTag following them that isn't theirs. It will then show a map on the device saying where it's followed you from and the route that you've done. It will then give them two options. You can do a locate nearby using the Find My app if you've got an iPhone, or if you've got an Android phone or an iPhone, it will allow you to play a sound to locate these devices. This is a great safety feature for those terrible creeps out there that throw these in people's bags on a night out and follow them home. I completely agree why it's been implemented. Although, for a anti-theft deterrent, this isn't a great idea. After a couple of minutes of this being stolen along with the camera, it then notifies them, they can play a sound, locate the device, throw it out, and then continue on with your equipment. That's why I looked online to see if there was different ways around this, and I spoke to Apple directly, and the only thing that they said, even Apple, after a lot of toing and froing, that there is a magnetic speaker in these that you can remove, and there are tons of guides online on how to do it, which means the sounds do not get played. You can still press the play sound button, but it will just be silent, and that's what I've done with these. I've got two of these, one in the bag itself and one attached to the camera, and that's because if it's just in the bag, people can take out the camera, leave the bag, or if the camera is lost and the bag is not with it, then at least I can know where both are at all times. Now these are mainly for tracking lost items, not for tracking stolen items, but these are in good locations in the bag to the fact that these can be quite easily sewn into a bag and very hard to locate, especially if there's no sound playing, which gives you enough time to locate where the bag is gone and where it's going. And although it probably won't actually make any odds to the police because they don't usually do anything about it, they'll just say, here's your crime reference number, for example, at least you know where it's going and what's happening with it. So these are great little things, and unfortunately, because of people in the world, these features can't really be used officially as an anti-theft deterrent, which is why I was originally in two minds about it. But after a lot of research, taking out the speaker for my purpose, put my mind at ease a little bit, and my equipment's worth a lot of money. So being able to have that tracking capability, if it ever did get stolen, or if I did ever leave it in a taxi or something like that, gives me a bit of peace of mind, which I'm grateful for. Now, I'm not going to show you personally how to rip these things apart and take out the speaker, but a quick Google search and a quick YouTube search showed me a 2-minute video on how to do it myself. So now there's no sound at all. But I can still track it. And another thing that's great about this as well is that you can precision locate these devices. So whenever you move these devices around, you can precision locate it within 30 feet. So if you're within 30 feet, you can use this feature to locate it. So even if you've left it in a restaurant, or if it's moving and it's just been stolen or something and you noticed it's been stolen straight away and you're in range, you can keep track of it really accurately. And then if it doesn't, these use UWB, which stands for ultra wide banding, and that basically bounces off other devices, making it easily trackable as long as it's on the Find My network. So it will bounce off other iPhones saying, hey, I'm here, transmit my location to my owner, please. And that's how that works. Very good piece of technology. It's a shame that the creeps in the world have to ruin this from being a great theft deterrent as standard, but at least there's ways around it for us not creeps, right? Next up, something that I fully recommend, one of these, a Peak Design wrist strap. Other brands do make them. I like Peak Design for these safe and secure quick release clips, but a wrist strap is always going to be more secure to carry your camera around with than a neck strap. A neck strap can be yanked, you can be pulled over a lot easier, and you have a lot less control over a neck strap than you do with these. So, you know, your camera is always just that far at maximum away from your hand. And if it's in your hand, it's a lot harder for them to snatch your camera. It ain't going anywhere. These are very secure, a great purchase, not very expensive, although Peak Design are quite expensive in general because they came up with this little solution. So they charge for that premium. Well worth getting for peace of mind and for comfort, because neck fatigue is a thing, and if you're carrying a camera, especially if it's a heavy one, you notice it a lot less on your wrist than you do around your neck all day. So one of these, a great recommendation. They don't take up hardly any space. There's a magnet in the wrist strap, which means they can fold up pretty easily. They don't take up any space. Fully recommend getting them. But if you don't have one and you do have a neck strap, you can just wrap your neck strap around your wrist as well. That's what I used to do before having that Peak Design system in place. You need to have control over your camera, and whether it be on your neck or in your hand, just make sure that you're aware of it, where it is on your body. The next thing is your bag of choice. Now, people could just throw their camera in their pocket if it's portable, or if it's just in any old tote bag or something like that on a day out. I don't recommend that at all. I recommend getting a stealthy, over-the-shoulder sling bag from a reputable company. And bags that don't look like camera bags are a big help as well. Bellroy make a really nice black sling that is a camera bag. It's got all the compartments that you want, but doesn't look like it. It just looks like a little bum bag that you can carry around. Now, my bag is Billingham. I bought Billingham for multiple other reasons, which I can get into in a different video, but it does look like a camera bag. So I am aware of that, but know that it's made of good materials, and the fact that it's a sling bag allows me to have it over my shoulder. So if it does get pulled, it's not easily taken off of you. It's just pulling into yourself, if it will. You can't just take it off so easily, and that's a good thing. The strap itself is made out of really high quality material, meaning it's not as easily cut and just rips apart and taken that way. So make sure that it's from a brand that can give you that guarantee and that warranty, if you will. So that's why I've gone with Billingham for a part of it anyway, for a safety perspective. Yes, it does look like a camera bag, but it's black and it's quite stealthy, it's quite small, and it's a sling bag. So if I am in a busy area, or if I'm on the Paris Metro, which is notorious for pickpockets, I can have the bag in front of me rather than round my back, and I know where it is, and I've got full visual on the bag and anyone trying to go inside it. And a note as well, if you are taking a camera that's pocketable, like the Leica for example, if it is in your pocket, don't think that that is out of sight, out of mind. If someone's seen you put it in their pocket, or you are just getting approached by a general pickpocket that's looking for anything, have some zip up pockets and have pockets that you notice if something's gone from, meaning quite tight pockets, if you will. So they're not just loose, your pockets are not bulging with stuff so they can see what's in your pocket. If it's zipped up and flush to your legs, you will feel if anything is moving inside of it and you will notice it. But pickpockets are quick and they are very, very stealthy, so just bear that in mind. Just because your little pocketable camera is in your pocket does not mean you are risk-free from this either. And then it just comes down to general awareness, general street smarts, if you will. If you are at a table eating at a restaurant but the restaurant's outside, having your camera on the table isn't a great idea. Sure, you might want to jump up and grab a shot as you go, especially us street photographers. You see a shot, you're going to run for it. Have it in your bag and have your bag attached to you somehow. So whether it's wrapped around your leg and on the floor, or if it's on a table hook, make sure it's secure. Just don't leave it at the side of you. Don't leave your camera in sight of anyone, because people can snatch it as they're walking past, make it really easy. And by the time you've got up from your seat, you can't see them anymore. So make sure that you've got that peace of mind, you're being a bit smart about it, and it's a way when you're eating or when you're drinking or when you're having your downtime and you're refueling or whatever. It doesn't need to be out at all times. Getting it out from your bag is a couple of seconds, and that, to get the shot, is a lot better than losing your camera equipment entirely because it's left on the table. If you are insistent of it being left on the table, then I go back to the whole wrist strap. Keep it attached to you, or have it on a neck strap and around the side of you, so at least you know and it's secure, it's on you, and you're quickly able to get it for the shot if you need to. Don't just leave it about because you think you're safe, you think you're eating, having your nice meal, and no one's going to come up and grab it. Same with phones. You know, any technology, you got to be aware. And that's the main thing. But like I said at the very start, if someone wants it, they're going to have it. Now, a lot of people know that these thieves look for easy targets. So all of these things that I've put in place personally make me feel that I am not as easy as the next person, the next tourist that's just walking around with their camera or their phone. But making sure that you are putting all these things in peace of mind will make you feel a little bit more at ease as well. And I think that's important, because looking nervous and looking timid and all that sort of stuff will make you a target. They will have eyes on you. So cool, calm, relaxed, but have all these things in your mind and be aware. As soon as I notice in London, for example, these people ride around on electric bikes and electric scooters, and they're usually in pairs. As soon as I notice this happening, because they go up and down these streets, they look for people to take their phones, they look to take their equipment, look to take their wallets, all this sort of stuff. As soon as I notice it, I'm more on guard. I've got my camera close to my body, I'm walking around, but I'm still cool, calm, and relaxed, and that is the main thing. As soon as you look timid and as soon as you look scared, they might think you're an easy target just because of that. So put all these things into practice, what I've talked about, and the things that I do. And if you've got anything specific as well, share it down below in the comments, because we're all here to help each other, right? We've all got to be safe on the street. We're doing a little art form. We're enjoying our passion. So don't let the thieves and the terrible people of the world ruin that. So thank you so much for watching this video. If it did help in any way, or you did enjoy it, a like's always appreciated. And like I said, there's always these other videos of my travel and all my other photos that I've got recently for you to watch if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.